Okay, this should be up. So click play, load. So the arrow keys are working, spacebar and collisions are doing their job. I can fire as much as I want, and then they delete once they're out, as you can see in the hierarchy. And then if one passes, on the bottom left here, it says game over. If you hit this player, nothing happens because that wasn't in the code. Anyways, player controller. Okay, so public horizontal input is just going to be something down here, which we declare later on. Speed is equal to 10, X range is equal to 10. I'll describe what those do in a second. The void update. If the transform position X, so basically it's just that the position of transforming is smaller than -10, so basically over here, the transform position just doesn't, like, shoot, let me play it again for a second. It doesn't, like, you can't go any further than that. And then likewise for this, you can't go any further than that. So this is just saying, like, oh, 10, 10, and then the positions stay the same for those two. And then this is where the horizontal input comes in. As you can see, if you click it, it highlights the other two uses, and it's just basically inputting where the x-axis is for the player, which then transform translates. So basically it allows you to move because it's multiplying your input times the vector right, and the time and speed of how long you did it. And it's just saying if the input is for space, it'll launch the projectile from the player. So you just do that. It's pretty simple. Move forward. Move forward. Forward it's for the pizza. Move forward for these guys though is a certain set limit because it's their own thing. I'll talk about that in a second. But you do that. It's just their speed, I guess, times their time. So you can do it however you want. Destroy out of bounds. Okay, so if the transform position of Z is greater than the top bound, so just 30, so basically when I fire my pizzas and they go out past 30, they disappear. Else, if they pass -10, which is behind the player, that means the deer will get disappeared and it'll say game over. Right? Ooh, undo that. I don't know what I just did. Don't do that. Okay, so this one's pretty easy. It's just saying, like, hey, if one object collides with another, they both get destroyed. Spawn manager. So this spawns all the does, mooses, and stags repeatedly. So you invoke the repeating spawn random animal, which is down here, which we will describe in a moment. And then you have start delay and spawn interval, which is just 2 and 1.5 every 1.5 seconds. And then spawn random animal, which is right here. So the animal index, which is just blah blah blah, equals random range from 0 to the length of the prefabs, which is 3, because there's 3 inputted inside of the index, which is over here, because we had to do the colliders. And the vector street spawn is equal to the new vector of the random range between -10 and 10, 0 and just 25. And then you initiate it all, so the animal prefabs, animal index, which is just random stuff, spawn position, which is this thing, animal prefabs, animal index again, but this time it's a rotation, so it constantly chooses randomly. So this one's being like, hey, we choose one of these guys, we spawn them right here, and we choose this one out of blah 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 blah, right? So that's pretty much it. You have the box colliders, which I think I could show. Yeah. So you have the box colliders here. It's just like their collisions and stuff, I guess. Nothing too complicated. Anyways, that is it. Yeah, where's the stop recording button? Oh.